Hi everyone, welcome to this talk. My name is Deon. I am a cloud security architect at ClearRoute. I spent a lot of the time understanding how modern platform works, and I like to ask uncomfortable questions about how they break. Today's talk is about why CI/CD pipelines are high impact attack path and what we can do about it. So let me first paint the picture. You spend a lot of time to secure your cloud platform. You locked down IAM with least privilege and separations of duty. You have defense in depth and strong network controls and zero trust framework. Your firewall policies are impeccable. Your data is encrypted everywhere. Your code goes through rigorous scanning and testing. You followed all the best practices for cloud security. You've done everything right. You feel secure. Then one day you wake up and find unexpected egress traffic to IPs you don't even recognize. You find new cloud resources in your tenancy you didn't provision, and secrets and keys being accessed unexpectedly. Then you start to receive calls. Third-party threat intelligence informs you that your secrets and your data from your environment are being sold on the dark web. What a nightmare. Well, this is actually what people experienced in March when Trivy was compromised. Malicious payload served with valid tags. It executed in CI jobs and stole cloud credentials, secrets, deployment tokens, which allowed the attackers to pivot into the cloud. A month later, in April, checkmarks kicks, same playbook, different tool. Researchers believe over 500,000 secrets were stolen, and all because of one single tool in your CI pipeline was compromised. You didn't catch it because it wasn't in your code, it wasn't in your cloud, it's in the good old pipeline. So what does this mean to us platform people? Well, in my opinion, it all boils down to this. We can no longer trust our pipelines as we have been. We need to assume breach. This is the mindset shift I want to talk about today. For years, we see our pipelines as Sam Gamgee. In our quest into the cloud of model, he was always there. He had our back. He even protected us with all the tests and scans he does all the time. We trusted him. So we gave him all the keys and access. We let him run anything, anywhere. And we seldom question exactly what he's doing under the hood. So when he turns, we don't even stand a chance. Because in reality, he is no Sam Gamgee. He is someone far more sinister, someone who can be corrupted and turned to the dark side quickly and unexpectedly. Trivy and Kicks have reminded us, once again, this is the reality we have to work with today. Anakin Skywalker is the exact image we should conjure in our mind when we think of the pipelines. But the pipelines is also absolutely necessary to get the job done, right? They're not going anywhere. So the next question is, what would you do when you have to work with Anakin Skywalker on a daily basis? Well, for any sensible person, I believe you'd agree to do at least the following. First, we still will try to keep the source of corruption away from him. That's prevention. Then you'd control what he can access. You wouldn't let him near Princess Leia or the Jedi Archive when you know he's gonna turn, right? That's access control. Then you'd make sure that when he does turn, he's isolated, so the blast radius is minimized. And at last, you'd want to monitor his every single move, especially the risky ones. And you'll want to have a kill switch ready to strike him down as soon as he turns. That is detection and response. So Let's walk through each of these. First, prevention. We want to avoid Skywalker's corruption when we can. And for the pipeline, we want to avoid pulling malicious payloads at the first place. As a principle, we should ping everything with immutable references like the SHA digests, not version tags, mind you, SHAs. In both the Trivy and Kix attack, the attackers pushed malicious code with valid version tags. Tags are mutable, SHAs are not, and this is non-negotiable. Then, ideally, set up your own internal artifact registry for common tools and dependencies. At the organizational level, you want to maintain, scan, and monitor them centrally, and get your dev teams to pull from this instead of public registries. This also makes their lives easier for the dev teams. Engineers will be forced to find their own tools, which you don't control if you don't provide them. And that is risky. Next, access control. You wouldn't hand Anakin the keys to the Jedi archives or Princess Leia's bedroom keys and walk away, right? So don't leave your secrets in the pipeline environment. Don't store secrets as the CI/CD variables by default. We actually say this quite often. Passwords, keys, tokens stored as hidden and masked variables in GitLab or GitHub, they are accessible to all the jobs that runs. If they, and also they are long-lived. The hidden, masked, or secret settings of this variable you can turn on, it actually gives us a false sense of security. But in reality, they cannot protect these secrets if the pipeline job is compromised. So don't use them. Instead, keep your secrets in secret managers and retrieve them at runtime. This way, the secret is only available to the particular job and not persistent in the CI environment. And next, don't share secrets between jobs. I've seen pipelines that pass secrets via environment variables to downstream jobs, write them to artifacts, or use extents to inherit them. Every handoff is a potential leak point. Each job should retrieve only what it needs and when it needs it. And the third principle, make credentials ephemeral, so that even if it's stolen, the attack window is narrow. That means avoid long-lived credentials like service account password, SSH keys, use workload identity federation on GCP, OIDC tokens, IAP tunnels, OS login. These mechanisms that give you short-lived and automatically rotating credentials that expire in minutes, not months. The impact difference is massive during a breach. Next, containment. Keep Anakin isolated so that when he turns, the blast radius is contained. We've seen in many places that CI pipelines are treated as one big security boundary. This is risky because if one job is compromised, you risk compromising the entire pipeline or multiple pipelines. We should instead treat each pipeline job as a security boundary. We should aim to have separate identities per job based on access level. I can't stress this enough. We should see that's our goal. But in reality, we often see one God mode service account used for the entire pipeline. It can scan, build, deploy, modify infrastructure, access secrets, access data, and encryption keys. With this kind of setup, if any job gets compromised, the attacker becomes your cloud admin, and that is a scary thought. Instead, the scanning job should get scan-only service account that is read-only, no secret manager access, no deployment permissions. Build jobs get build-only. It can write to artifact registry, but can't deploy. And deploy jobs get deployed only. It can deploy to a cluster, but cannot modify the base image. These are only examples. Now, if you set it up that way, when any job is compromised, it's contained. A compromised scanning job cannot pivot to deployment because scan only doesn't have those permissions. It can't steal deployment database secrets because they are not in that job's context. Each pipeline job is contained with their own identity, its own permissions, and its own trust boundary. So when one job turns to the dark side, the others are protected. And that is our goal. Finally, you'll want to monitor Skywalker 24/7, won't you? So that you know when he turns and you're ready to strike him down. So this means we want to monitor pipeline behavior for anomalies. For example, unusual network traffic. Is it calling out to an IP that you don't recognize? Unexpected secret access? Why is your scanning job trying to read database admin credentials? And jobs running way longer than baseline. If your build job takes 3 minutes normally, why has it been running for half an hour? These are all indicators of compromise and worth alerting on. The next, if something looks wrong, you need to have a mechanism to stop the job, cut off its access, and prevent it from rerunning again. Ideally, you want to set it up so that it's triggered automatically because time is of essence during a breach. In GCP, for example, you have SIEM rules as the trigger, and you can set up automated response workflows in playbooks. So these are the main controls I want to talk about today. Of course, there are many others you can put in place, but I thought these ones are the most practical and impactful that you can implement. But in my opinion, the most important thing is a mindset shift. Please remember, pipelines may be our best friends, but it can also turn to the dark side quickly and unexpectedly. So keep it under strict control. And with that, thank you for listening in, and may the force be with you all.